Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I hope you got a chance to go see your families. I did a little bit. I missed some members of our family as we have a border that keeps us apart. We have ferries that keep us apart. But aside from that, I did see some of my local family. We managed to tailgate in the backyard, which was fun. We managed the Easter bunny still was able to come. So all in all, we had a very good weekend. And I hope you did too. My morning thoughts coming back after a long weekend. I hope some of you got a chance to actually enjoy a long weekend. Did you get to feel that you had a long weekend? There's so many people working at home now. It's very easy to blur the lines between work and home life, work and family, work and personal time. As somebody who has worked at home for many, many, many years, and my husband works at home as well, and of course we've raised our children in that environment, it has been always a challenge to move between work and home. Home life has got to be different. So for all of you out there that are new to the experience, I would love to hear from you as to how you spent your Easter weekend. Did you manage to break away? Did you manage to turn off the computer and put family time first? I know in your heart you did, but were you able to? And now I'm working Easter Monday. There's a lot of people out there that take Easter Monday off. I do and I don't sometimes. It depends what's going on. Currently I have teenagers, so here it's at about 9 or 10 in the morning, something like that. And guess what they're doing? They're sleeping. Probably with the candy hangover, because there was way too much candy this weekend. Anybody else start their morning cup of coffee with a nice chunk of chocolate? I did. Tomorrow will be normal routine. We'll worry about it then, right? So anyhow, I'm going to give you a few, actually, you know what? So first of all, go into my buttons down below this video and sign into my follow me on Facebook. Go check out my website, sign up to my newsletter. I like to keep in touch with people, and send me a note letting me know, either comment on my Facebook page or send me an email or whatever you like, and let me know how you spent Easter. I know some people got really creative. Like I said, I did the tailgating with my family in the backyard. I also saw another family, a couple of families actually, a number of my friends with fantastic ideas. They actually went out in their communities and delivered these care package of sanitary things. There was like a chocolate for the kids, wrapped of course, and they of course had gloves and masks and the whole bit. And they went out and they delivered care package, Easter basket care packages that were, this was my favorite, they had sanitation wipes, they had toilet paper, they had chocolate for the kids, things like that. It was really cute. Some people got very creative and they went out. There was even one, I even saw an Easter bunny. I saw the Easter bunny yesterday morning on Facebook, and he was hopping around a neighborhood delivering toilet paper. So people were very creative, and I'd love to hear how you spent it with your family. So please follow me on Facebook, like my channel, things like that, right? Send me a message. I'd love to hear it. So anyhow, going back to the thoughts that I originally had in this conversation about working at home and long weekends and family time and how to keep them separate. It is a challenge. It is a challenge. You get ideas, especially if you're passionate about your work. Oh, when your work is your passion, it's a little easier when you don't like your work, because there's permission to turn it off, right? When we don't like it, we have permission to turn it off. But when we do love our work and we're very passionate about what we're putting out into the world, it's really hard to turn off, because our brains just keep going, right? And so we're putting time in with our kids, and we're here physically with our families, but we're not there mentally, we're not there emotionally, because we're off in our work with all those fantastic ideas that keep coming. So some of the things that I have done over the years, first of all, you can find this kind of information everywhere, and that is make sure your computer is and your workspace is in a place in your home that you can close the door. Preferably close the door, put a screen around it, and definitely turn off the monitor, close the laptop, turn off your notifications, unplug, so that outside world is not got access to you. Okay, so that is the number one thing to do. Close the door, turn off the screen, shut it down. Give yourself a number of hours. All right, there's automatic notifications that you can get out that if somebody is trying to contact you, you can certainly say not available. I'll be back at this time, right? And in come on, most cases, as we are learning right now, what are the priorities in our world? There's a lot of things that we put on the high priority that really are not, right? We don't need to have, we've got into this habit of instant access. If I can text you, email you, why have you not responded within 5 minutes, right? Well, guess what? I don't. Because I am a person first, a mother, a wife, I have a family, I have a daughter, I have people in my life that are my priority, and I make sure that when I am with them, I try to be 100% with them. So keep that in mind. Yes, our work lives tend to be the larger portion of our life, but that doesn't mean they have to be the first value in our life of how we spend our attention. So when we are in attention with our families, be there, be present. And this is how, turn it off work, right? But then we're also those passionate people, right? Passionate, high responsibility is another one that really draws us back in. So we can't let work go from our minds. And because I do a lot of spiritual work, right? I work in the Akashic Records and everything. I tend to float into, I also tend to spend a lot of time in my mind, in the higher realms of thinking, talking to spirit, talking to myself, right? Best conversation I have is with myself every day. So anyhow, I spend a lot of time in that, and so it's very easy for me to drift off into those spaces. And one of the techniques I've learned is I actually snap my fingers and tell myself in my mind to put my 100% of my awareness into my physical life here and now. And I continuously do that. And I should have turned off my notification. I don't know if anybody heard that. My phone just went off. Anyhow, so I continuously, and I've trained myself over the years, I snap my fingers. Because now I do it right by my ear. To snap, there you go. And that noise triggers me. Oh yeah, where am I? I'm right here. So as we're working from home, and a lot of us that are self-employed, that is a really big tip that I have personally have found extremely useful. Snap. Put my awareness into my physical world here and now. And that can really get us out of our head. Okay? And when we get out of our head and we go into this moment, then we have real connection. And we go back into our passion. And we have clarity of that. Now, occasionally, we get really excited and we have these brainstorms that are coming in and we're downloading all this amazing information and we have to get it out. That is where you grab a pen. For me, it's pen and paper. I am an old-fashioned girl, pen and paper. I have, which I surprisingly actually don't have one in reach right now, probably out on my coffee table or something, where I have my morning coffee. But I keep a school notebook, one of those coil-bound lined paper school notebooks, and I journal every single day. Every time I have a thought in my head, I put it down, I put it down, I put it down. And I have these books, and I have them all over the place. And I have stacks and stacks of them in my closet. And that's where I put my information and my ideas and everything, and I explore my ideas, and I put them down on that paper, and I get them out of my head. Okay? If it's an idea that is to brew for later, they'll stay in the book. And my tip to you is to date every single time you pick up that book. Write the date. Really good idea, because it helps keep everything organized. And if you have people that come into your mind that you think might work with a project or an idea, or you want to talk a little more to, put their names down too. Okay? Make sure you write them down. Don't assume that you're going to remember something later. So really let your brain dump out. I tend to be a point form person. I swear if anybody else read my book, they'd have no clue what was going on. And so I make those notes. And it's the same as when I read the paper, when I'm going through Facebook, when I'm watching documentaries, when I'm watching TV. Even when I'm watching TV, that's why it's on my coffee table. I'll be watching a movie, and there'll be some line in a movie it'll snap my brain, and it'll be like, oh yeah, I got to do something about that. And it comes, I got to write it down. So I just quickly write it down because it allows me to get it out of my brain. It's down there to deal with. Right. The other thing I do is occasionally those ideas. So there's two kind of a couple of different ideas. There's going to be personal ideas that I want for improving my own life, improving the lives of my children, things I want to do with the family. Those come to my mind. I write those down. Sometimes I'll write across the top of the page, personal. I'll put a note as to what they are. And then there's the general ideas that are for further exploration later. They might tie into something later, but they're not now. They're just things that have come through and ideas to grow on later on. And then the third one that comes through is things I really need to deal with. And those things that I really need to deal with, I will write across the top of the page, to do. So that when I'm flipping through my book, I know to do means that I need to get on it. And I can look at the date and decide whether it was a to do from 3 years ago or a to do date from today, because my books don't go consent. I have books everywhere. So therefore I will have one page will be dated, April 13th, and the previous page to it will be April 10th. And you might think they're the same, but make sure you put in the year, because April 13th, 2020 is a big difference from the thoughts you had that day to the thoughts that you had on April 10th, 2018. And that happens to me because I have books everywhere. I just grab what I can, right? So do that. Make sure you put the year as well when you do the date. So the other thing, though, I will do is usually my phone is not too far away, or I will rip out a page of that and stick it, stick it in the book so it sticks out so that I notice it, or I'll quickly run and put it on my office desk or something like that. But I'll make a note somewhere that says, I have to do this, that highlights it. And I don't write it all out. I don't take the whole note. The notes stay in the book. I simply make a note. Oh yeah, quick pen of what that idea was, where it was, right? And I'll put it with the notebook that had that idea in it. So those are great tools for getting out of your head and into the moment. And they work all the time. The other one more that kind of ties into this, it's not quite, well, actually, yeah, it does tie into it, because when you're working at home, especially as a parent, it's very common to hear the knock at the door, the tug at the pant leg, the mom, nonstop on the other side, I love that one. Mom. I'm like, I'm not a song. But they all do it, right? And I even have the one, my favorite one is the cat. Okay, so the dog beats down the door and knocks on it, okay? But the cat, I have this one cat, and her little paw goes underneath the door. She can't stand a closed door, so the little paw comes underneath and scrapes and claws underneath the door non-stop. It's hilarious. You look over and there's just this little white paw. Anyhow, so interruptions happen a lot, and this focus thing really helps in dealing with that going in and out. It also helps when we're working at home and we're into an idea and we get that email, that text message, that phone call or whatever that comes in and requires our attention immediately. That helps us focus into that and give our attention in that moment. Same as when we're writing notes. It allows us, I often, if I'm writing notes and writing ideas and the phone goes off and I have to answer it, I will put my hand right down on that piece of paper and then answer the phone and chat away, so that I don't forget it, right? It's there, and that my hand, it's a physical way of putting, it's like bookmarking my page. So those are some tips. I hope they help you in this interesting time of working at home. And I want to hear about you from your Easter. This has kind of been a long chat. I guess maybe I should do a little bit more in the future about working at home, because apparently I have a few ideas on the subject. Anyhow, enjoy your morning coffee and, shall we say, chocolate? Anyhow, have a fantastic day. I hope you're able to get outside and enjoy yourself. Stay safe and respectful of others, and try and live a compassionate life every single moment. Be in the moment with your compassion. There we go. Embrace the joy of living. Sign up. Where is it? It's over here, I think. There's a button right about there, I think. somewhere? I'm not sure. I'm not good at doing this yet. I'm still learning. Anyhow, hit my subscribe button, all right? Because I want to see you again. And I'm trying to do this every morning, every weekday morning. So subscribe to me. Go like, subscribe to me over here. There. Subscribe to me. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. Send me your messages. I want to hear from you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.